Hey everybody, welcome to Paul Mash TV, bringing you the very best indie country from all over the world. And now, ladies and gentlemen, he is Paul.
Well, hello everybody, and welcome back to a brand new episode of Paul Mash TV. And as the description of the interview episode says, it's episode 100. So we're glad that we made it this far, and again, we couldn't have done it without any of you fans out there, and we thank, I love all my fans, and I appreciate you liking the page on Facebook and giving us feedback whenever possible. And if you're watching us on YouTube right now, don't forget to click that subscribe button right there, and you'll keep up with all the episodes when they become available. And as far as Facebook goes, we'll give you the address added to that, as well as the email address on how to contact us at the end of the show, so stay tuned for that. Right now from Galena, Maryland, we have Juke Johnson. And as all with our interviews in the past, he's really got some talent. He's kind of a country rock artist, excuse me. So I think you're really gonna like this guy, just like you liked all my other interviews. And so without further ado, let's take it away with Juke Johnson right here on Paul Mash. Well, hello everybody, and welcome back to another episode of Paul Mash TV. And with us we have Juke Johnson from Galena, Maryland. Thanks for joining us, Juke.
Hey, thanks for having me, Paul.
Yeah, we're always glad to talk with people like you. And I guess the first question, obviously, is a question I always ask. Everybody has their own story, so why don't you tell me what made you decide to become a musician?
Well, I'll give you the short version. Well, I think at some point, I've always been a musician at some level, but as a kid, my dad was a big music fan and used to listen to a lot of different types of music. And then I started banging on things, and I think I got into drums around 5 years old, took lessons. And as I got older, I, in school, started singing with the choir and things like that. One of the music teachers kind of recognized that I could sing, started singing with, as a young, I guess between 8 and 10 years old. I sang with all boys choir for some years, and actually got paid to go around sing with a big boys choir out of Baltimore. So I've always done it in some form. And then of course in high school, played in bands, played in rock bands, the early 80s, some hair bands, and did the rock scene for a while I was teenager. Got a little older, got married, and never stopped. Always been doing something. I've started writing my own songs when I was a kid, and it just kind of escalated from that point. And I can't remember a time I haven't done music on some level.
Okay, well that's a pretty good story there. And it's good that you're also into not just the country music, but you're into rock and all that other stuff too. I mean, it's always good when you talk to somebody who just in one classification of music, but it's also good to talk to people who have a wide variety of genres, and that's what we do here at Paul Mash TV too, obviously.
Yeah, I'm a mix. I'm definitely got a mixture of genres. I started out playing rock music. I've done Christian music. I did Christian music for 15 years. So my music, today is more like country rock. It's a mixture, and there's a lot of different elements to it. And some of it's Christian focused, some of it's not. I mean, I hate to label myself. As you hear a lot of musicians, they don't like to kind of put yourself in a category. You kind of got to do that to a degree, but good music is, all I'm trying to do is make good music and music that means something,
Oh, okay. Well, why don't you tell us a little bit about some of the influences in your life? I'm sure you've had a few that pop up in your mind.
Oh, yeah. Oh, well, influences in general or musical influences?
Well, I mean the singers in general there.
Okay. Well, a lot of influences, but and that's where I think it stretches all the way from from rock to country. I'm a big Southern rock fan. Allman Brothers, Leonard Skinner,
Mm-hmm.
the Outlaws. I like Charlie Daniels Band, Hank Williams Jr., Waylon Jennings. I mean, I like old country. I like good music. Eagles. I love the Eagles. I like hard rock too. I mean, bands like AC/DC and Zeppelin and Deep Purple and things. So it's kind of hard to put myself in one thing, but I've been influences even from R&B influences, from Stevie Wonder to Aretha Franklin, who we just lost recently.
Yeah.
So I grew up listening to all things. My dad, he listened to all kinds of music. In my household, we listened to just about everything. If it was good, we listened to it, even jazz. So when I got older, I started, forming my own opinion. I think rock, I got into rock as a teenager, really, for a bit there. But I always liked different kinds of music. I always like, if I liked it, it was, I listened to it. I think today it's a little bit more common for people to listen to multi-genres. Of course, when we were younger, most people stayed within their genre. But I think nowadays, kids today, they listen to everything. I think people today listen to everything. So, when I do music, I kind of include all those influences.
Right. Yeah. Well, those are some pretty good ones. Like you mentioned, Hank Williams Jr. and Charlie Daniels and everything and all that. So that's a pretty good range right there. Let me see. Do you have any albums out? Maybe you could talk a little bit about your albums or at least your songs a little bit.
Oh yeah, I have 4, I believe, that are available through the normal things that are available these days: iTunes, TuneCore, Amazon, and the first album was probably about 5-6 years ago, called Simple Things. And then there was American Dream and Forbidden Fruit. And I just released a new one about a month ago, and I didn't title anything. It's just called Juke Johnson. And I'm right now looking to shoot a music video. I haven't even decided which song I'm going to shoot a music video on, but so I have 4. There's 4 out there, and I have a lot of singles over the past 10 years. I'm one of those they call serial songwriters. I have hundreds and hundreds of songs, and I just I put it out there. When I a lot of times these days I don't even put a whole album together. I mean, put a couple songs out that I'm working on and just have them available. But I'm on Reverb Nation. You can listen to a lot of my stuff. I have, just look up Juke Johnson. But if you Google me, YouTube, I have probably 7 to 10 videos, music videos. So yeah, quite a bit of stuff out there.
Right. Okay. Well, speaking of your, I think you just mentioned videos. We're getting ready to play a video from you in just a couple minutes here. Maybe you can tell us a little bit about it, what the title is.
Sure. This video is called Working Man's Blues, and that's a very familiar title, but this is actually an original tune of mine that I co-wrote with another writer. But Working Man's Blues is basically I wrote that during the period of time back in 2008 when the economy was kind of tanking and people were struggling. And I think when you listen to the song, you'll understand that it's just about everyday working people like us and how we survive it. So.
Okay. Well, we'll get to that in just a moment, but I just want to let you know I think we're just about out of time, but we want to thank you, Juke, for showing up on our show and spending a few minutes with us. We appreciate that, and we'd love to have you back sometime if you ever got anything new that you want to talk about.
Sure. Thanks for having me. This has been great, and
well, I appreciate the kind words on that.
All us independents out there, we'd like to thank you for what you're doing for independent.
Oh, well, thank you. I appreciate that too. Well, we'll go ahead and play that Working Man Blues for you right now from Juke Johnson, and we'll be right back for that right after this.
Try to walk walk a mile in a working man's shoes. Every dollar that you earn, 50 cents you lose. Ain't that true? What's a man to do? Slave and sweat just to make ends meet. Can't afford to drive if I wanna eat. Ain't that true? What can we do? All this talk about bailing out. Who's gonna save me if I fall in? It doesn't pay to be a little man, doing everything we can just to have a place to sleep. Why does it hurt to be a normal Joe? Don't we matter anymore? Politicians on the news. Listen to my heart's version of the working man's blues. Prices going up and my paycheck's flat. Hard to keep those bill collectors off my back. Ain't that true? What's a man to do? Times are tough and the money's tight. Every day I got to pray just to see the light. Ain't that true? Oh, so true. It doesn't pay to be a little man, doing everything we can just to have a place to sleep. Why does it hurt to be a normal Joe? Don't we matter anymore? Politicians on the news. Listen to my heart's version of the working man's blues. All this talk about bailing out. Who's gonna save me if I fall in? The only thing that we can count on now is the love of family and friends. It's the only thing that matters in the end. Why does it hurt to be a normal Joe? Don't we matter anymore? Politicians on the news. Listen to my heart's version of the working man's blues.